Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video day, and today I'm going to be doing my Houston Texans Day 2 NFL Draft preview and predictions. Houston Texans will have 5 selections in the second and third rounds that will be hosted tonight, Friday. Look, I could be wrong, but this is the way I feel. And just in previous years, I think this is the most Texans draft picks that they've had. So I've been watching the Texans since 2017. I've been paying close attention to the draft since around 2018, 2019, really 2018 probably. And I think this is the most draft picks I've seen the Houston Texans have on a day 2, second and third round. I might be wrong. Because we've seen a lot of draft picks, especially in the rebuilding years the Texans had a lot of draft picks. But I don't think I've seen the Texans have this many second and third round picks in a draft. Part of that is because you have your own picks, but also the trade down the Texans made last night with the Giants receiving the 34th overall pick. The Laremy Tunsil trade also has to do with this. They got a third rounder, so they got 2 picks from the Giants, and they got a second rounder from the Giants. That's second and a third rounder from the Giants, a third rounder from the Commanders from the Tunsil trade. Those are 3 of the 5 picks from trade. So Texans would have had 2 picks tonight if it wasn't from the trade down and the Laremy Tunsil trade. But here are the picks the Texans have tonight, receiving from the Giants and the Commanders trade in their own picks. Pick 34 from the Giants, round 2, pick 58, which is their own pick, round 3, pick 79, which is from the Commanders in the Tunsil trade, pick 89, which is also round 3, that is their own pick, and then round 3, pick 99 from the Giants. So here's the funny thing. The Texans, we see them 34 and 58, and then they have a draft pick every 10 picks, 79, 89, and 99. And keep in mind, also, they have 5 draft picks, or maybe more. 5 draft picks on Saturday from rounds 5 through 6. They have 2 6-rounders and 3 7th-rounders. Now, last year, I don't think the Texans had last year like 3, 4, 5 7th-round picks. I think it was like 3 or 4 7th-round picks. And keep in mind, this is the crazy thing. None of the Houston Texans 7th-round picks last year made the 53-man roster. There was a couple of them, a couple of guys the Houston Texans selected in the 7th-round pick that they signed to the practice squad. I think one of them was Jawar Jordan, I believe. But none of the 7th-round picks the Texans selected last year, and I think a couple of the 6th-round picks too. I would say half, but solid part of the Texans draft picks last year got cut and didn't make the 53-man roster. Mostly the 7th-round guys, and I think there was one 6th-round guy. I want to say the 6th-round guy that didn't make the 53-man roster was Jawar Jordan. But, so yeah, I'm excited for this day 2 of the draft. We're going to see the Texans finally make some decisions today. What do the Texans need? Here's what I'd like to see the Texans identify early. It's the wide receiver position. Luther Burden did not get drafted in the first round. I know that the Texans need to address the offensive line. I really hope they do it tonight. And I hope they do it from picks 58 through 99, where they have 58, 79, 89, 99. But if, Luther, you got 2 picks before the Texans. Or no, sorry. You've got 1 pick before the Texans. The Browns have 33. I don't see them going out there and getting Luther Burden. I think the Browns might go get a quarterback at 33. Who knows? But if the Browns don't select Luther Burden at 33, which they might, who knows? That's a guy I'd like to see the Texans select at 34. And then as the night goes on, later on, I'd like to see the Texans draft an offensive lineman. Here's something I'm going to predict. I wouldn't be surprised if the Texans traded up in the second round. If there's an offensive guard or an offensive tackle that the Texans really like, I could see the Texans, going from 58 and moving up into the 40s if there's a guy the Texans like. They have enough draft picks to do that. But I think you have to address the offensive line. I think you have to add in a wide receiver at some point today with 5 draft picks. But those are the two things I'd like to see the Texans add to, and I think you'll definitely see both of those issues addressed tonight by Nick Caserio and the Houston Texans. But you guys in the comment section, let me know what you want the Texans to add in today, position-wise or player-wise. Luther Burden's the only guy I'd look at and say, okay, yeah, this is the guy I'd like to see the Texans go get, their first pick at 34 from the Giants. So let me know your thoughts on the Houston Texans day 2 of the draft in the comment section, and peace out.